Hello, my beautiful souls, and welcome to my abundant, radiant, prosperous, and positive energy channel. Today, what I want to talk about is why I decided to no longer be vegan. So, the reason why I decided to go on it in the first place was because of my eczema. I don't really know how to explain it to people who don't understand, because a lot of people think that when they hear eczema, they hear any type of skin condition, they think that it's just that. It's like it's just a skin condition, and it's not. It's so much deeper than that. It's a disease. It can really send somebody into a depression, and it can just have you have horrible thoughts. It's literally like uncomfortable in your own skin, and it's probably I'm pretty sure there's a lot of other things out there that are horrible, but it's like one of the worst things to go through, honestly. For me, I had it worse on my arms, and I've said it before in other videos where like I would constantly, in the dead of summer, I would constantly wear long sleeve shirts because I was so embarrassed by anybody seeing my skin. Went to dermatologists, was seeing a lot of doctors, which unfortunately they don't know that there really is a cure for eczema, and it's through your diet. They say like, oh no, there's no cure, and I could really fuck somebody up. Like, you're desperate to find an answer, and you go make an appointment with a dermatologist. Like myself, I made an appointment with the Las Vegas Skin and Cancer Clinic, and they're telling me, oh yeah, like there's no cure for this, you're just gonna have to deal with this for the rest of your life. What the hell? Like I can't believe that they're still stuck in that old school mindset that they are still teaching these doctors, which I'm not disrespecting doctors at all. I think that what they do is great. I think a lot of them are extremely intelligent. I mean, like, if you went outside and got hit by a bus, where are you gonna go? To the emergency room and go see a doctor to get yourself back together. They're very important and necessary, but in other ways, is like what I'm talking about, they're not at all. When you're telling somebody that, you know, this issue that you have isn't curable, that's not gonna help anybody at all. It's gonna send them on a downward spiral. Like I said, like I have it from head to toe. It was always worse in my arms. I went to the dermatologist, and they told me it's not curable, but we can give you these steroid ointments, which you put on your skin, and it makes you feel better, and it looks better, and pretty fast too. But what they don't tell you, which I found out the hard way, I use a tube of it. It comes in like a tube, like almost like a toothpaste tube. And so I used all of it because I have it from head to toe. This tube, like, oh yeah, if you have a little spot here and there, and it's like, no, I got that shit everywhere. Like, I need all of that. And so I use it all. I go to the pharmacist to go get a refill, and he's like, what? Like, you want another one already? And I'm like, yeah, that stuff is small. Like, I need like a big old tub of that. And he's like, didn't the doctor tell you you're not supposed to be using it like that? Like, that stuff can thin your skin out. And I'm like, well, hasn't done anything yet, and it's working, so I'm gonna keep using it. So he gives me another one because I have a refill for it. He gives it to me, and not long after that, all of a sudden, like, my skin got extremely thin, and to the point to where you could literally see the veins in my arms. Like, right here in the crease, I would go to the doctor to go get my blood drawn, and they would go to put that little like rubber thing around you so to make your veins pop out, and they're like, oh, like, we see your veins just fine, like, we don't need this. And that's how bad it was. Like, I would rub up against something, cut my skin, bleed like it was nothing. The itchiness is craziness. I would constantly itch because my skin was so thin. I would scratch, and I would just barely scratch and open my skin, and now I got scars and bleeding everywhere. It's even worse. It's uncomfortable. It's like this never-ending cycle of hell in your own skin. And I'm sorry, I'm a little passionate about it because it's like sometimes people just don't understand that. They think it's, like I said, it's just like a skin condition. It's like, no, I'm literally uncomfortable in my own body. That I wake up, I feel like I'm in like this rock hard shell, and I can't move, and if I slowly move like this, it's just gonna be like like, and dust and flakes and everything is just gonna be flying everywhere. It's horrible. So that's why I realized, like, okay, there is a cure for this. I'm gonna find it. So I come across the whole veganism thing because it's so popular, and so I'm like, oh my gosh, that's what it is. Like, my partner used to call me, I say partner like it's the same sex. It's not, no. I'll make another video about that, but technically, yes, that is my husband. He used to call me the fast food queen. I ate fast food almost every day, sometimes multiple times a day. One, because it was cheap, even though like when you do it like for a long period of time, that shit can get real expensive. Excuse my language, I'm sorry. I'm just like, I just decided I'm just gonna be me, like, whatever. This is just who I am. You know, I don't cuss like a sailor, but that's just who I am. Sometimes I say bad words. I'm grown. So I would eat fast food all the time, And now I know better, but back then I would wonder, like, I'm like, what, man, like, why is my skin so bad? And it's like, look what you're eating. Like, you literally are what you eat. You eat that all the time. What you think it's gonna look like. What do you think you're gonna feel like? And I never drank water. I was never a water person. I always like wanted sodas. If I couldn't have a soda, I want a fruit juice. Like, I want something sugary. Like, I was with it all the time. So I come across veganism and I'm like, okay, this sounds amazing. This is the answer. Like, it's because of my diet. I've been eating so many bad things. This is it. I don't never had vegetables, don't eat fruit, don't drink water. Like, it's vegan, it's got to be the way to go. So many people are talking about it. Like, didn't really do too much research. I've just kind of just went off of what other people were saying on social media sites. And that's why I always say, you're seeing all my videos where I say, do your own research. Don't just go by what I say. Don't go by what your favorite YouTuber says. Do your own research for you, because everybody's body is different. I go into the whole vegan world. I'm juicing, I'm doing all of this stuff. And in the beginning, I felt really good. And in the beginning, my skin got a lot better as well, especially with celery juice. I say it does not matter. I know I'm like, do your research, okay? But it does not matter what diet that you go by. If you just don't go by a diet at all, whatever, still incorporate celery juice into it, no matter what. So I started doing the celery juice. I kid you not, my skin went from night and day in weeks. Like, I was like, oh my gosh, this stuff is amazing. Well, I think I got a little bit cocky, because after a few months of my skin like being really normal again, or not again, just being normal for the first time, I started eating crappy food again, because I'm like, oh, I'm okay, I'm cured now. And it's like, no, that's not how it happens. You have to keep on that type of diet. You can't incorporate these bad foods again, because you are what you eat. You put those foods back in your body, those symptoms are going to come back. And they came back even worse. Skin got a lot better. I cut out the sodas and the candy bars and the chips and all the fried foods and all the crap that we're not supposed to be eating. So fast forward, started eating meat again. It's been like a week and a half. For being vegan was probably like a year and a half for me. And I wasn't like a strict vegan either. I was still like a junk food vegan. Like, I'd still eat French fries from time to time, and I still would eat chips and stuff like that. I know some people will argue and be like, oh, well, you didn't do the vegan diet right, and that's why it didn't work for you. No, that might work for some people, but that's just did not work for me. And I'll tell you why. Which was like couple weeks ago, I realized I'm just like, I just don't feel right. Yes, my skin has gotten better. That's the whole reason why I started. My skin I don't have a lot of redness anymore, but it's still, and the itchiness is gone, but there's still some itchiness there. And it has gotten worse in other areas as far as it being extremely dry. It's so dry to the point where like it's flaky. Like, I would be able to scratch my arm and flakes would be flying off. I wake up in the morning, there's flakes all over my bed sheets. I go in the bathroom, take my clothes off, shake my clothes, flakes are flying everywhere. I have to sweep it all up, and it'd be a big old pile of like flaky skin. Is just disgusting. And then I'm like, I know there's a cure out there. I'm just gonna stick with it. But then I was just like, I just don't feel right. I don't feel normal. I don't feel good. My teeth started, like, I had a tooth fall out. My teeth are getting bad. My skin, like, yeah, it's good in some areas, but it got a whole lot worse in other areas, and I just don't feel right. For some reason, I don't know if I had researched it yet, or if I think I did research it, that about eating meat and how it is healthy for you and how there are so many vitamins in there, and that's good for you. So I went and I got a steak, and boy, let me tell you, it was so delicious. It was so bomb. And my energy levels literally immediately went up. I was like, oh my God, this is how I'm supposed to feel. Like, wow, I've been trying to heal my skin for the past year, and I've literally been doing the wrong thing. You're trying to do what you got to do. You just got misled. And that's why I always say, do your own research, because you can get misled by so many other people. When people are out there talking about veganism or carnivore diet or this, that, and the other, they're talking about what works for them. It might not work for you. So do your own research, and you have to go through a trial and error and see what works best for you. Do what's best for you. And I got some notes over here also on why I decided to stop vegan. Okay, so another thing besides like my energy, which was like a big thing, I didn't have the energy to do much of anything. I like was always feeling like I had to force myself out of bed. I had to force myself to wake up early. I got to force myself to juice. I got to force myself to do this. It wasn't like I really wanted to. And then the other thing is I got super skinny. Like a couple months ago, she was like, have you lost more weight? I'm just like, damn, like I don't look at myself in the mirror anymore, because I'm just like, wow, like I lost my butt. Like, I naturally just always had a big butt, and I'm like, my butt is gone. Like, I've had that since literally when, you know, when you start developing, I've had that since I was 12 years old. I'm 33, and all of a sudden it's gone now within a year. So I just stopped looking at myself. So when she said, have you lost more weight? And it's just like, probably. I don't have a scale. I don't weigh myself. When I really took a hard look at myself, like I said in my other video, I say my affirmations. I look myself in the mirror, in the eyes while I'm in the mirror, but I won't look at my whole body because it's just like I got bones. You can see, like, I was laying on the couch and my son was like, I could put milk in that and drink out of it. And I'm like, oh my God. Like, yes, I know you probably could. It's true. I'm that skinny. I'm starting to age as well faster. Like, I know I'm still young. I'm only 33, but I have always looked really young my entire life. Now I feel like I almost damn near kind of look like my age. And that some people might be like, what's wrong with that? Like, that's just a part of life. That's what it is. But when you've always looked super young to all of a sudden, it's like you're starting to see these folds, increases in your skin, and you're super skinny. Like, it's just like, man, like, it's not a good feeling. I won't say that it put me into a depression because I know there's a cure out there. Something is going to work for me. I know it. So there's no reason to get so down and out about anything, even if it's not going the way I expected it to. Something will get. So now that I am incorporating meat back into my life, I'm so excited to get my butt back. I'm so excited to put weight back on, and like, just I could tell now, like, because I never really took a lot of pictures because of my skin. Like, I was embarrassed by it. I was ashamed of it. So I don't have a lot of pictures, but the pictures that I do have, I look back and I'm like, I look completely different. Like, I still look like me. I still feel like me, but you can just see, like, my face is just, it's almost like, it's just sunken in. It's not me. It's not cute. I don't like it. This is just not me. I want to feel like myself. So that was one thing. I got super skinny. Another thing was I got really, really, really bad dandruff. And beforehand, when I was eating meat, like, I wouldn't get dandruff. I would get dry scalp for sure from time to time, but I'd wash it. I found out about, like, apple cider vinegar. I put apple cider vinegar in it, let it sit for like an hour, and then wash it out again, wash my hair again because now it stinks, and then I'll be fine. Didn't have to do anything else in my hair. Like, that was it, and I'd be good. Well, now my dandruff is so bad. I've never had, and it went before when my scalp got dry, it never got itchy. Now it's like, it's itchy. It's nasty. Ew, like, I don't like it. What I would do, like, I would just let it build up because it's like, it's so much. So I would just let it build up, and then when I couldn't take it anymore, I'd wash my hair. I'd do the apple cider vinegar. I'd wash it out again. And then I would put castor oil all over my scalp to moisturize it. The next day, it'd be back again. And it's like, are you serious? Like, what is going on? Like, and I didn't realize at the time that it was because of my diet. So that was another thing that I'm excited about. And then I mentioned about my skin getting drier. It's just so dry. You feel like you're like a little shriveled up raisin. Like, you don't want to move. It's like, I know, because I know some of you guys don't have eczema, or maybe you might not know anybody who deals with any skin issues, so I'm trying to explain it in a way that you can understand. But it's just, I know, I understand it could just be really hard for people because they just think like, oh, like, people who have acne, it's just a couple bumps in your face, and it's like, it's so much more than that. Like, especially when it's inflamed and it's red, and when it's red, it hurts, and you're literally hurting in your own body. Like, people are looking at you like, what the hell? Like, is that contagious? Like, oh my God, like, are you okay? And it's just like, you try not to you don't want people to worry too much. So you're like, oh, it's okay, it's just eczema, like, I've had it my whole life. And really, you're like, inside, you're just breaking. Like, it crushes you. Okay, I had a foggy mind, bad focus, and my concentration got worse. I couldn't form a full sentence in my own mind. Like, it's one thing to not be able to do it out loud when you're speaking to somebody, but inside your own head, you just almost kind of fumbling over words in your own head and not forming full sentences in your own head. And it's like, that right there, that happened for a while, and it's like, that right there should have been a clue to you that something ain't right. But like I said, I was so eager to cure my skin that I just kind of brush it to the side, like, it's okay, like, it'll work itself out. And it's like, no, literally, your health is slowly declining. I was eating a lot of spinach salads too. Not to come to find out, spinach, for anybody with skin issues, that's like one of the worst things that you can do. And I'm like, are you serious? Like, I love spinach. I used to eat spinach salads all the time. But hey, you know, you live and you learn, and that's how you learn too, from your mistakes. So I'm not regretting it, but I'm just letting you guys know, like, do your own research, because just because somebody says that it worked for them doesn't mean it's going to work for you. And just because they said it working for them, they may not understand themselves that it's really harming them. Like I said, when I first went on it, I felt great because I cut out all the fast food and stuff. So my mind is thinking, oh, it's because I cut out meat and it's the whole vegan thing. And it's like, no, that's not it. Okay. Oh yeah. Okay. So I was watching this guy's YouTube channel. I was watching one of his videos. I like him. He talks about the universe and manifesting and stuff like that. I really, really like him, even though he does promote veganism. But like, hey, if that's what you do, that's what you do. If that works for you, that works for you, not for me. I watch him, but that part I just know, like, hey, that's not for me. But he had said, like, hey, everybody, 7-day vegan challenge. And somebody wrote in the comments, lions can be vegetarian. Excuse me? Excuse me. Now, I love animals, okay? And I don't agree with them being locked up in zoos for other humans to come in and to pay and to just see wild animals. Like, let them be free and let them be where they're supposed to be. I just thought, like, are you serious? Like, lions can be vegetarian? Who the hell wants to go to a zoo to go see a vegan lion? You know how skinny that lion would be? Like, I would be like, yo, I want my money back. Like, what the hell is this little kitty cat? Like, it's skinny, you can see its bones, it wakes up in the morning to do its morning roar, and it's like because they don't have no energy. Like, that's not, like, come on, like, they need meat. We need meat. Like, it's literally like, we need it, okay? And I don't want to go too deep into it because, like I said, I want everybody to do their own research. Don't just go by what I say. I already, like, I feel good. I feel good from eating the meat. Let me finish going down. Like, yeah, I said I didn't have energy, but that's another thing. I always thought about food. I was always constantly thinking about food. I always felt like I wasn't really full enough. I just ate until everything on my plate was gone, but I really still wasn't full. But hey, this is what I'm supposed to do. I just want to make sure I get all out there. Another thing is I would binge eat because I was so hungry. My body wanted more vitamins and more fuel. I was restricting myself because it's a very restrictive diet that I would binge. I would eat a whole bag of chips. I'd eat a whole sleeve of cookies, like anything like I could get my hands on that was sweet. Like, I would eat it, or salty. I would eat it because it's like, well, it's not meat. So, and even though my body's craving it, I'm not going to eat that. I'm just going to eat a shitload of this. Completely ruin my skin and my energy levels. And that's it. Okay. And so now it's been about a week and a half. I started, once I found out I ate meat, and like I said, immediately my energy levels were just like, shoo. I was just like, oh my God, this is how I'm supposed to feel. Like, and when you feel how you're supposed to feel, that's when you realize how bad you really were feeling before. And so now, like, my energy levels are better. I am doing the liver cleanse. I'm going to continue to do that. You're only supposed to do it every 3 to 4 weeks. I always do mine after my cycle because they say don't do it while you're on your cycle because your body's already cleansing one thing. You don't want your body to be doing more than that. That's what I do. But during this, in the book, it mentions don't eat any animal source, just eat very light. And I'm like, okay, I understand. Like, you don't want your body to be digesting too much. You don't want your liver to be working too much because you're trying to get rid of these gallstones. So I didn't eat it for 2 days. And like, my skin was getting better eating the meat. But for those 2 days, it was like my skin got worse again. It was like, it's itchy, it's dry, it's flaky again. Like, when I was eating the meat, I didn't have dry, flaky skin all over my bed and my clothes. I didn't scratch like that. I scratched a little bit because it's going to take some time to heal, but I'm not going to say it was like a miracle all of a sudden, but it got 10 times better than how I was before. I don't know, like, I don't really want to eat it and do this at the same time, but I was like, you know what, I gotta listen to my body. And I just went ahead, I made myself a steak. I only ate a little bit of it. I didn't eat the whole thing, but I'm like, my body literally needs this. Like I had said in my other video, the second time I did the liver cleanse, I only got out like 250, and the first time I got out 1,000. So I'm like, okay, this time I got to do it by the book. You know, I'm still drinking the apple juice when I'm supposed to, but I have incorporated a little bit of meat. Today is day 3. But if it takes me longer to get out all the stones, then that's just what it is. But I can't keep doing my body, like, ignoring what my body really needs at the end of the day. So anyways, I know this video is getting kind of long, so I'm gonna go ahead and stop it now. It's just been a minute since I recorded a video, so I'm just excited to be back. But until we share the same space again, I'm sending you guys love, positive vibes, and healing energy to you all.